why our keyboards are arranged the way it is. I mean, QWERTY. It sounds like someone just threw random letters on a board and said, "Yep, that'll do." Or was it some secret code, a conspiracy? Nope, it was a practical problem. Typewriters in 1873 were fragile, prone to jams when people typed too fast. Christopher Sholes, the inventor of the typewriter, needed a solution. That's right, the keys would literally jam if typists got too speedy. So, Sholes came up with QWERTY, a layout designed to slow people down, spreading out the most commonly used letters to avoid collisions. As technology evolved, we didn't even need to slow down anymore. Yet here we are, still using QWERTY on every computer, phone and tablet. Why? Path dependence is the idea that once we start down a particular path, it becomes harder and harder to change course, even when better options come along. That's exactly what happened with QWERTY. Entire industries, teaching systems and decades of habit have locked us into this keyboard layout. A strategy called technological lock-in evolved, a way for businesses to secure long-term profits by keeping customers tied to their tech. Imagine you just installed a shiny new smart thermostat. You love it. It's sleek, easy to use, and oh so convenient. But to get the full experience, you also need the compatible smart lights, the matching security system, and the special voice assistant. The company doesn't just make money from the initial sale of the thermostat. They profit again when you buy the lights, the camera, the smart doorbell, even the subscription service for software updates and new features. That's recurring revenue. Network effect locks people in, creating a path dependence. Online marketplaces like Amazon work this way. More buyers attract more sellers. More sellers attract more buyers. The cycle repeats, creating a marketplace that's hard to leave because everyone's already there. The more the network grows, the more dependent we all become. These businesses are powered by the network effect. They don't just rely on customers. They create a system where customers rely on them. And that reliance is where the profit is. Every time you swipe your card at checkout, you're participating in a system that's so deeply embedded in our daily lives we hardly even notice it anymore. But behind that simple transaction is a massive business model driven by standardization. The story starts in the mid-20th century, when credit cards first hit the scene. It was revolutionary. You could buy now, pay later, without carrying cash. But there was one huge problem. Different banks issued different cards, and not all merchants accepted every card. It was chaos. Imagine going to the grocery store and not knowing if they'd even accept your payment. Yeah, not exactly convenient. That's when Visa and MasterCard stepped in with a simple but genius solution: standardization. They created universal systems that allowed customers to use their cards anywhere. Same cards, same terminals, same process. It wasn't just easier, it was game-changing. By standardizing payment systems, Visa and MasterCard didn't just solve a problem, they built an empire. Now, every bank, merchant and customer had a single, reliable system they could count on. That little fee every time you tap your card? Yeah, that's where Visa and MasterCard really cash in. They don't lend you money, they just process the transaction. And because they're the standard, almost every purchase you make contributes to their profits. The system is too big to leave, and because it's so embedded, people don't even want to leave. It's 7:30 a.m. What's the first thing on your mind? For millions of people, it's that familiar cup of coffee from Starbucks. Starbucks has mastered the art of creating a daily ritual, turning a simple cup of coffee into an experience. And once it becomes part of your routine, it's hard to break away. Starbucks isn't just selling coffee, they're selling an experience. From the baristas who know your name to the personalized drink options, Starbucks makes you feel like part of an exclusive club. You're not just buying a latte, you're buying into a brand. Over time, this brand loyalty becomes a form of path dependence. Once you've invested in the brand, whether it's through daily visits, personalized orders, or earning rewards, you feel tied to it. Switching to another coffee shop would feel like starting over. New app, new rewards, new baristas who don't know your favorite order. No thanks. You stick with Starbucks because it's familiar, it's reliable, and it's yours. Business models evolves or diversifies, its fundamental principles remains the same. One or more of these reinforcement mechanisms can be at play in any given situation, creating a path dependence and make it harder to escape over time. Economies of scale. The more a company produces, the lower its costs per unit. As businesses grow, their market position solidifies because they can offer products at prices competitors can't match. Then there's customer switching costs. Whether it's the hassle of learning a new system or the expense of breaking a reward program, these costs make switching services or products feel like more trouble than it's worth. The systems and tools we rely on today often depend on investments we made years ago, whether it's software, hardware, or entire platforms. Sticking with what works and builds on what we've already invested in? That's the safest bet. Finally, we have learning curve effects. The more time and effort spent mastering a process, the more expertise we gain. Over time, businesses and customers get so efficient that switching to something new means starting over. And that's a hurdle most of us just don't want to jump.